Assalamu alaikum. In today's video I'm going to be making some tofu, stir-fried tofu. What I did first is I cut the tofu up. I have 350 grams of tofu here. I just cut it up into bite-sized pieces and I let it drain for about 90 minutes, hour and a half, because there's a lot of liquid in it. Next, I'm going to put all the tofu into my bowl and I'm going to marinate it overnight and I'm going to cook it in the air fryer tomorrow. The first thing I'm going to marinate it with is 5 tablespoons, using this tablespoon, 5 tablespoons of soya sauce. You can use any soy sauce you have. I have this one, 5 tablespoons. Okay, next to go in is a tablespoon of white vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar as well, but I have white vinegar right now, so I'm using that, 1 tablespoon. Next to go in is 1 tablespoon of hot sauce or chili sauce. Next to go in is a heaped teaspoon of paprika powder. Next to go in is a tablespoon of onion powder. This is optional. Next to go in is a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm going to mix all this thoroughly together. Okay, I've mixed everything thoroughly together. Now I'm going to put this in the fridge overnight and cook it for tomorrow for dinner. I'm going to put a tight lid on this and put it in the fridge overnight. And I'll see you next day when it's ready to cook. Okay, it's the next day and this is how our tofu is looking. Not too pretty, but we're going to fix that. Now I'm going to remove this one by one, making sure I leave the liquid at the bottom, because we're going to put this in the air fryer. I'm going to use the liquid later for the stir fry. So I'm going to remove this from the liquid. Okay, next I'm going to coat the tofu in 3 tablespoons of corn flour. Just spread it all over like that, 3 tablespoons. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my hands to make sure each bit is coated. I'm just going to make sure each bit is coated in the corn flour. I'm basically just going to mix it all together like this. Just mix it all together. Make sure it's all coated in the corn flour. You can add a bit more corn flour if you think you need it. Okay, while the tofu is in the air fryer for 15 minutes on high, 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to start off with the veg for my stir fry. I'm going to steam. I've got 400 grams of broccoli that I just cut up into the heads, florets I mean, and I have also 1 large carrot that I cut up into chunks like this. Now I'm going to add 1/5 of a cup of water and I'm going to steam this with a lid on for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm just adding a tiny amount of water, 1/5 of a cup, literally tiny amount of water. This is on high heat and I'm going to put a lid on this. Okay, I have a makeshift lid for my pot and I'm just going to let this steam for 5 minutes on high heat with the little bit of water I added. Okay, still on high heat. All the liquid is gone. It's been about 5-6 minutes. All the liquid is gone. Next, I'm gonna add in 1 large green pepper cut up into chunks, medium chunks, and 1 large red onion. You can use white onion, whatever onion you have. 1 large onion and 1 large green pepper. I'm gonna mix that in. You can use red, yellow peppers, whatever peppers you have. Okay, I've just added 2 green chilies. I did not cut them up. I'm just going to put them in there for flavor. I'm going to remove them later because, yeah, I don't eat chilies that much, but I'm just adding it for a bit of flavor. I did not cut it up. It's just 2 green whole chilies. Okay, next to go in is about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon olive oil. Okay, now I'm going to fry this together. Okay, next to go in, I have 8 cloves of garlic that I chopped up into medium pieces like this. They're not small pieces. You need at least 5 cloves of garlic in this, but I used 8 or 9. Okay, next to go in is a heaped tablespoon of ginger paste. And make sure you mix this all thoroughly together. Stir and fry. We're stirring and we're frying. Okay, so we're gonna let this stir and fry together for about 5-6 minutes. By then our tofu should be ready. Our tofu is in the air fryer for 20 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We want it to get nice and crispy in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you can put the tofu into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for around 25 to 30 minutes until it has a nice golden color. Okay, this is how my tofu turned out. It's nice and brown, golden brown color and crunchy. I chucked it all in. Now the next ingredients will go in. Okay, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon or a bit more than half a tablespoon of paprika for color. Next to go in is about 2 tablespoons of soya sauce. I'm not gonna add salt because the soy sauce is salty. Sorry, I have in these little pots, I got it from a restaurant, but it's maple syrup with some chili in it. So I'm just adding about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can add 2 tablespoons of honey instead of the maple syrup, or 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Next I'm going to add in about 2 teaspoons of white vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar as well. Next I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon of hot sauce or chili sauce. Now make sure you mix everything together thoroughly. Okay, so I let this mix all together for 3-4 minutes. Now it's ready to serve. I'm gonna serve this with some brown rice that I made in a separate video. Please like my videos and subscribe. Assalamu alaikum.